And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone, and welcome. In this video, we're going to be having a look at Henry Kissinger at the World Economic Forum, as he's made a speech that goes against the narrative, in my honest opinion. And the title of the article is Henry Kissinger, Ukraine must give Russia territory. Now, this is a former US Secretary of State and quite admired for his work by some. As he said, the West has to stop trying to inflict a crushing defeat on Russian forces in the Ukraine, warning it would have disastrous consequences for the long-term stability of Europe. Dr. Kissinger said that the war must not be allowed to drag on for much longer and came close to calling on the West to bully Ukraine into accepting negotiations on terms that fall very far short of its current war aims. Now, that to me says that the narrative that we're being told, i.e. that the Ukraine are winning and Russia are losing, is not true. If Kissinger is saying that we need to force Ukraine into accepting negotiations, it means that Russia are winning, doesn't it? And they're terrified of being proven incapable. Negotiations, he said, need to begin in the next 2 months before it creates upheavals and tensions that will not be easily overcome. Ideally, the dividing line should be a return to the status quo ante. Pursuing the war beyond that point would not be about the freedom of Ukraine, but a new war against Russia itself. I think he's a little bit late on that one. I think we're already in the territory of a new war against Russia itself. He continues, I hope the Ukrainians will match the heroism they have shown with wisdom, he said, adding that the proper role for the country is to be a neutral buffer state rather than the frontier of Europe. Now, if you didn't know, Kissinger has also warned against the expansion of NATO and that it would be prodding the bear with Putin, and he was ignored. Now, the comments themselves came amid growing signs that the Western coalition against Putin is fraying badly as the food and energy crisis deepens and that sanctions may have reached their limits. Reached the limits? It's us that are getting affected. Russia are not getting affected by these sanctions whatsoever. Now, obviously, the EU and the World Economic Forum and the New World Order lot and the globalists are not happy with this, and they've pushed back. And they're actually putting their fingers in their ears effectively and saying, la, 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 not listening. We're seeing the worst of Europe, said German Vice-Chancellor Robert Habeck in an angry outburst in Davos, accusing Hungary and other recalcitrant states of paralysing attempts by the rest of the EU to craft a fully fledged oil embargo. So they want more of the things that are crushing our economies. Mr. Habeck, who doubles as economy minister, just proves that ministers have got no clue about the roles that they're in, doesn't it, that? Said Germany is more or less ready to endure the shock of a total cut-off in Russian oil imports, but others want to carry on as if nothing had changed. What about gas? No mention of that one, is there? I expect everyone to work to find a solution. There is a solution. It's called nuclear. But didn't you shut them down? Yep, you did. And not to sit back and work on building their partnership with Putin. This is them effectively trying to bully other states and other member states of the EU into refusing oil and gas, even though their economies and their livelihoods, in some cases, are completely relied on. Now, it doesn't stop with Germany. It also moved on to the Ukrainians, as Yuri Vitrenko, head of the Ukrainian Energy Consortium, said the refuseniks, that's what they're calling them, refuseniks now, we've heard that term before, haven't we, everyone, are demanding exemptions from the embargo on false pretenses. What they really want is a free ride on discounted Russian oil, he said. No, what they really want is to not cripple the countries because you said so. That's what they really want to do. I think this, if it carries on, as Kissinger has said, will crush the EU. It will drive the member states to be against each other. There is not going to be any more all on the same side if it carries on. And I think Kissinger is one of the few that's come out and said it. So fair play to him. Let me know what you think, though. I'd like to know your opinion on this one, everyone. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe and the share. Please, I rely on you. Stay sane. See you on the next one.